Hello everyone! Today I want to show you how to make a coat for those who are lazy. This is the book about Max Mara history. This coat was designed in 1984. You can see that it's straight. We've made a similar sketch with more narrow bottom. I prefer the designs with narrow bottoms. First I wanted to work with fabric straight away, without a pattern. But the thing is that I can't use chalk on this fabric. You wouldn't understand what to do. I'll make a pattern first. Have a close look at the sketch. The one-piece sleeves are pretty wide. One side turns into a scarf with draping. I'll show you how to cut this collar without problems. You don't have to waste your time making it. This is kind of a knitted wool. I call it this way because it stretches in all directions. I'll make a one-layer coat of it. I'll either process the edges with binding or overcast them. I'm not sure yet. This will be kind of a cardigan. My aim now is to show you how to cut such coat. I put the fabric aside. It's already steamed. Let's talk about measurements. These are the measurements needed to make such coat. Length of the item, 103 centimeters. Arm's length, I haven't written it yet, it will depend on the fabric left. Sleeve bottom width, 34 centimeters, pretty wide. Chest, 118 centimeters, one half is 59. Hips, 116 centimeters, one half is 58. Back width, 42 centimeters, one half is 21 centimeter, and back length, 40 centimeters. You need to decide on the width and length of sleeves yourself. One half of chest measurement is 59 centimeters. So 1/4 is about 30 centimeters. I'll use 33 centimeters. The same thing with the hips. 33 centimeters. The allowance depends on how wide you want an item to be. It's up to you how wide to make it. There are no special rules. I hope that everything is clear so far. Do you remember how to make a pattern? Find the point 0, the 7th neck bone level. Next, measure the length of the item down from this point. 103 centimeters in this case. Next, I need to measure the back length. 40 centimeters. And its half, 20 centimeters. I'll sign this line, waistline. Next, I need to mark the hips. I put a mark 17 centimeters down from the waistline. I've already told you how to measure this distance. I also want to draw the bottom. Use a ruler to make right angles if you can't draw them by sight. The back neckline width is 10 centimeters. I want this part to be pretty wide too. I need to raise this point for 3.5 centimeters to mark the shoulder top. The chest is 33 centimeters wide. You already know why. The hips are also 33 centimeters wide. The bottom is 31 centimeter wide. I've already told you that I want it to be a bit narrower. I use a ruler to connect these marks. Notice that the line is not curved. I don't want an item to be of a close fit. Next, I need to draw a straight line from this point. And I also need to measure 20 centimeters on this line. Back width. I'll make this line a bit biased, 2 centimeters lower from this point. Now I can draw the upper part of the sleeves. I want them to be at least 50 centimeters long But the thing is that I depend on the fabric left. Have a look here. The width of the sleeve bottom is 34 centimeters, so this half is 17 centimeters wide. Both of these angles should be right. Some designs require precise measurements and a lot of efforts. This is not one of them. Find the waistline and draw the lower part of the sleeve from it. This is how it should look like. The pattern is ready. I remind you that this is the back. Now I'll cut it and then move on to the front pattern. This is the same design as in 1984. The only thing we've changed is the bottom. I made it a bit narrower. This is gonna be a pretty nice white coat. The back is ready. Do not forget that we make the front pattern on the basis of the back. The only things we need to do are to raise the shoulder for 2 centimeters and make the neckline deeper. These are the only parts which are different in the back and the front. The tracing paper is folded in half. I need to cut the 2 details at the front because the front will be asymmetrical. I draw the center front about 8 centimeters away from the edge. I need to do it because there will be a wrap over on the front. This is the center front. I'll sign the center back. You need to know where the waistline is. Even though it's wide as a barrel, you need to know its level. This is the center front. Be very attentive. Now I'll add to the balance on the shoulder and make a neckline deeper. And then I'll cut the 2 details at the front. I've cut just one detail at the back because it's symmetrical. I raise the shoulder top for 2 centimeters. I remind you that the 2 lines should meet somewhere in the middle of the sleeve. You can see that the lines match here. Now I need to make the neckline deeper. This is where the neck starts. So I'll make it about 4 centimeters deeper. You can draw the neckline however you like. Make it of any form. Let's cut the front. The waistline should match. The best thing about this cutting technique is the fact that you don't need to measure anything when cutting the front. I'll mark the waistline. Here it is. I can put the back pattern aside now. These are the right and the left sides of the front. I've matched the center fronts. I'll sign the details. Right one, left one. I'll also sign the right and the wrong sides. Now I'll be working with the right part. I'll also sand the center front. Now I'll be working with the right part. I'll make a collar in it. I need to make a stand collar. You can see that it consists of two details. First, I need to measure the front and the back necklines. Notice that I measure just the left part of the front neckline. You'll understand why I do it. This part is 25 centimeters wide, as well as this one. The half of the back neckline is 12 centimeters wide, so the whole one is 24 centimeters wide. I'll need these measurements for designing. Now I can put the left detail aside. I've decided to raise this point a bit. It's very low in this sketch. It will start 7 centimeters up from the waistline. You can make it wherever you like. This is the point from which I can start designing the collar. You can see that there are gathers on the stand collar, so I need to make it high. About 17 centimeters. Now I can start drawing a so-called scarf from this point. I'll make it 14 centimeters wide here. It should be pretty wide. I also need to draw a bias line up from this point. This piece of tracing paper is not even wide enough. I want this part to be beautifully gathered on the neck. You can make it any other way. Now you need to imagine how the stand collar looks like. It should be narrow on the other side, about 10 centimeters high. I need to draw one more line here. First, I measure 24 centimeters on it, the back neckline width, and then 25 centimeters more. I need to add a piece of tracing paper here. I think I'll make this line less biased. This is the new line. I measure 24 centimeters first. This point will be attached to the other shoulder. This part should be about 10 centimeters high. Now I measure 25 centimeters more. The width of the front neckline. This part will be about 9 or 8 centimeters wide. These are the numbers which you can change however you like. The pattern is ready. Now I'll cut it and show you how it will look like. I've pinned the center front and the shoulder. This is how the coat looks like. This part will be gathered here. And this is how the stand collar will be attached. The whole collar should be made of the one piece of fabric together with the right part at the front. Maybe I'll make it narrower after the first fitting. The pattern is ready. That's all for today. Next time I'll cut this coat out. The winter is on, so I show you different ways to make yourselves warm and beautiful. Don't be afraid of experiments and be different every day. My name is Paukštė Irina. Subscribe to my channel. Goodbye.